Alright, back again. Hi, welcome. If you're on the replay or if you're live, please go ahead and tap screen for hearts. And let me just tap screen around there. There we go. Alright. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you're here for the first time, please go ahead and swipe right on the iPhone, swipe down the Droid and tap follow. And if you are willing to share with your friends, please share it on Periscope and stuff. This one's a quick one. Small count, we'll see what happens. This is Peri Tips. I do a daily scope on Periscope about how to use Periscope. So I'm doing one every day teaching about how to use Periscope. And this one is kind of becoming more of a Q&A. So if you have questions about Periscope, this is the place to ask them. So for the next few minutes, or as long as it takes, as long as you stay on, I'm here to offer you answers to your questions. So I know some folks are going to be joining as we go. Thanks for being here for the ones who are. So what are you talking about today? Actually, I am going to be talking about answers to your questions about Periscope. This one is, I do one of these every couple of weeks where I don't have any specific things about Periscope to talk about, because I do teach every day. Ding, please. Not sure what that means. So this is like Q&A. What questions do you have about Periscope? Because I've been teaching about this every day. Hi, welcome back. Thanks for joining the scope. Please swipe right on the iPhone or down on the Droid. Share it with your followers on Twitter, Facebook, and Periscope, and tap the screen for hearts. I appreciate that. I can go over some overview stuff for Periscope. I did a whole thing Friday. Well, thank you. It's very nice of you. I did a Periscope Friday, which is called the PPP, which was the proper Periscope preparation, and I gave 10 tips in that Periscope. So this is more of a Q&A thing. So thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. Thanks for showing up and joining in. So my question to you is, are you using Periscope? And if you are, how's it going? And if you're not, how do you want to get started? What questions do you have about Periscope? This is my, the Periscope answer man is in. So if you have any questions, please ask away, and I'll answer them. It may be a very short scope if nobody's got any questions. But I do thank you for joining and sharing and coming in and saying hi. This is a brief one. Just so you know, I do 2 scopes every day, minimum. One is about relationships and love, which I just finished. This one's, I do one about Peri Tips, which is this one, and I basically do Peri Tips every day. I've got about 30 different Periscope teachings out there, and I'm kind of like the common man's expert. I'm not like the big highfalutin guys who know 17,000 friends running around on Periscope. I have sort of downloaded that stuff and articulated to you. One thing I'll say, this is a philosophy thing about Periscope. There are only about 100,000 people broadcasting on Periscope right now. That's it. Not even a million. 100,000 maybe, based on the numbers that they gave out at the Periscope Summit in New York 2 weeks ago. So those of us doing what I'm doing here, broadcasting, are a very small number of people. So if you're doing it, awesome. We're the pioneers. We're the cutting-edge people doing this stuff. Because Periscope is a new avenue, a new expression, a new adventure. So if you're doing this, welcome to the club. It's a great experience, a great experiment. Just going to tell you this: if you're doing Periscope now, you don't know about this, you need to know about Catch. This is a free tip. It's a free site, and mine's this one, which is my Twitter handle. Catch.me is a free site that you can set up to capture all your Periscope recordings so they can be there for viewing. And so if you feel like you're going to do Periscopes, because Periscope saves your scope for 24 hours and they're gone, this is your backup. And I've got 90-something Periscopes out there now. So get yourself a Catch.me account for free. That's a free tip. A free service you can use to get your Periscope saved. All right. So any other questions or thoughts about Periscope, I can provide you with a nuts and bolts answer. I'll tell you about me whilst you're typing your questions. I am a self-diagnosed nerd when it comes to Periscope. I'm passionate about this platform. I do teach about love and relationships. This is my primary area of speaking on Periscope, and you can watch on Catch or my previous scope I just did on periscope.tv/barryselby to see my previous love scope. But this one is purely about how to use Periscope. If you've got questions about it, if you have any problems with it, if you want to know how to do it, if you need some pushing to get you to start, this is the forum I'm inviting you to come and check in. So any questions, any thoughts? This may be a non-player, I don't know. But I want to just throw out this invitation to ask you questions about Periscope. So anybody got any questions you want to type in the comments? Have any thoughts, desires about Periscope? You want to use it? You're not sure? You got some problems with it? What else is coming on? So let me know if you have any questions about Periscope. That's what this is for. It's your forum to ask questions of me as your expert. So anybody any questions? It may be a very brief scope. I didn't plan. I mean, I don't do song and dance on Periscope. It's not my thing. Some people do. Mine is more content based, and I'm either delivering it or having Q&A about it. So, are you using? Let me ask you this: if you're using Periscope to broadcast, can you put a 1 in the comments? Let me start that way. I forgot this whole thing about basic nuts and bolts. Periscope's a great tool. So if you're using Periscope and you're broadcasting, please put a 1 in the comments. If you're just watching on Periscope, put a 2 in. So whatever you're doing, please type something in the comments, please, so I can see what you're doing in Periscope. You're watching, okay, that's good. That's Kimberly. So you haven't jumped in yet. I understand. Any other people? There's a few of you watching. So besides Kimberly, anybody else want to put in a 1 or a 2? 1, you're broadcasting, or 2, you're just watching. Oh, you do sometimes. Okay, good to know. Anybody else? Are you all asleep, or are you just hiding out? If you're watching, please put. I'm asking you if you just joined to put in a 1 in the comments if you are broadcasting on Periscope, or a 2 if you're just watching and not broadcasting on Periscope. I just want to get a sense of the numbers and what you guys are doing or not doing in Periscope. Doesn't take much, just a 1 or a 2. If you're watching on the web, I understand you can't type that in. But if you're on your mobile phone watching it, you can type in the comments. Hopefully some of you are. I don't know if I can see that. All is quiet, I know. Well, let me just jump to and check something. There's only 2 people, and you're one of them, who's actually on live on the app, not on the web. So the other people are not on. There's 6 people, I guess, watching. 4 of them are on the web. They can't come in. So I guess it's just you, me, and talking right now. So do you have any questions about Periscope? Any thoughts? Thank you for that lovely heart that just popped up. Any questions about Periscope that you want to find out answers to? Q&A? Well, I appreciate you being here, Kimberly. You're like my one person who's responding, which is great. So thank you for that. This could be a very flatline scope. There's nothing of content to provide or share. So can I help you with anything on scope, or you just want to get into it? Let me say this. If you're using the application, not just watching on the web, but using the application, not watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, please, you can tap screen for hearts as well on the player. If you're watching on the mobile version of Periscope, you can't tap on the screen on your laptop, probably. Don't think it works on the PC laptops. Anyway, get out there and just do Periscopes. If you have anything of value to share, which you do, Periscope's a great place to play. You will broadcast more, but you don't like it to record it for later use. You don't like it to record for later use? You mean you just want it live and not have it recorded? Because you can turn that off if you want to. You don't have to have it saved. Periscope, some context things. You can do Periscope without any saving if you want to. You can turn off the autosave to your camera roll, you can turn off the Periscope save, you can turn off the catch save. If you want to just do a live broadcast with nothing else, you can do that. It's a little bit less impactful, but Periscope you can just do it as a live interaction with nothing else going on, and when it's done, it's gone. So you can do that if you want to, but then it's hard to share. I mean, I keep mine for archive. 1, because it's feedback for me. I can watch them and see things are off track and on track. But 2, there's content in there. In fact, I am planning this, and I've been avoiding it because I was like, oh, it's work. I'm probably going to change my blog to be a video blog and put my Periscopes from Catch embedded in my blog, because they're archived, and there's most of the good ones, not all of them. Most of them have good content to share, so I can write about it and then put the video in there so people can watch it. So Periscope has benefits beyond just the 24-hour cycle and beyond just the live broadcast. So yes, Kimberly, if you want to just do live with nothing else, you can do that. Depends what you want to do. I mean, you can do also private. That's the other thing with Periscope. You can do private broadcasts with 1, 2, 5, 10 individuals you select from your own followers. So you can do that. But of course, it helps if you know they're on board, because again, if you're doing live Periscopes without saving them, you probably want to make sure that the people watching it are people you want to have watching it and know it's happening to be there for you, by the way. Does that help? I'm guessing it does. Any other questions about Periscope? This is a free forum question and answer area for Periscope questions. Oh, you came back in. Okay. So Kimberly, I don't know if you heard my response, because you went out and came back in again. So let me know if you did. I was talking about suggestions if you're doing live only without saving. A couple of things you want to get done. Anybody else? Questions about Periscope? I have to wait. Some of the Malascopes said it's called a perilag. It's that time from when I say something to when you get to type something back in, and when it gets back to me is about a 30-second round trip. So you may be commenting on something I said and I haven't seen it yet. So Kimberly, did you get your questions answered, by the way? I'll ask that question. Yeah. That's the thing. And by the way, when you're tapping the screen for hearts, which I do welcome, you've got to be careful. I've done it myself where I tapped on the screen and then somehow just tapped slightly sideways and it swiped the screen off and I lost the scope. Let's go back in again. And talking about hearts, just so you know, if you didn't know this, when you're watching someone's scope, you can tap the screen, again, mobile version, not on the computer, up to 500 times and the screen, the hearts will register. It takes about 2 minutes. If you don't, sorry, if you go over 500 hearts, it will show that you've given more than 500, but it will only register the first 500 for the user. So one trick people have done if they're watching their friends trying to build up their counts, I'm not saying it's the only, not this is the best practice, but people do this, is they then quit the scope, come back in again and give 500 more. So some people, one person did that in my scope. There was somebody like in what I said, she went out, came back in again 4 times during my scope, gave me 2,000 hearts, which is like wonderful. But kind of odd because I'm realizing that that's not something I'm going to keep pushing for. It's a bit like hunger. It's almost codependent, saying I need the hearts, give me the hearts. So if you like it, like I was saying, you give hearts. That's different because that's value based. That makes sense. So any other questions? And Kimberly, can I ask you, since you don't want to do recording, is there a reason why you don't want to record your scopes? Because if you're just doing live only, it's a limited avenue. Kimberly? You're shy. Well, Kimberly, you can scope, as I said before, you can scope with people you choose, like as a private scope, and you can save it private. If you save it, I'm trying to think of privacy settings. This is actually, I need to find this out because I don't know for myself. Once you've done a private scope, if it stays private when it's stored on Periscope, I don't know. But I believe you can scope live only, save to your camera roll without saving it to Periscope, which will give you what you want and gives you a record if you want. You live in Georgia. I live in Los Angeles, California. This is my view currently. Let me tap the screen again. There we go. It's a little bit cloudy because we had some rain clouds come through. They didn't drop much rain, but this is Los Angeles, the view of... Sorry, I just dropped play my tripod out. This is just a view over Culver City. If you can see through that building in the center screen with the crane on top, that's Sony Studios in Culver City. It's not bad. It's a little bit cooler today because of the moisture we had. So, plugging my cable back in again. I've learned a lesson with iPhone. When I'm doing periscopes, plug it in, because the battery doesn't last long enough when you do lots of periscopes. So yeah, it's not bad. So you're in Georgia, and what do you do in Georgia? If you don't mind sharing it, by the way. It's this awkward silence between asking a question and waiting for an answer to come back. Yeah, I'm curious what you do in Georgia that maybe you're shy about, or something you're just not yet ready to expose to the world. Because Periscope is a platform that is public and it's worldwide. Actually, one thing I'll tell you, if you're doing periscopes, even if you're doing live, your temp doesn't. Okay, that's nice. So, can be one thing I recommend if you're doing live scopes. One thing definitely to do is when you do start broadcast, there's an icon which has an arrow on it. That's your location setting. Turn it off, because locations are things you don't want to have turned on if you don't want to be discovered by people who may be in the area. So for privacy, especially if you're doing that, make sure you turn that off as well. In fact, I just saw last night someone was doing a scope and we found this out. You can have, if you look at if you have locations turned on and you do a scope, in the map that shows up, it only goes to about a 3-block radius. It's not that close. But if you do a search through the world view, which is the globe, the map, that you click on somebody's scope, you can click on that one, you zoom in on just random scopes, you can find someone there and you can zoom in close enough to see where they are, except it's 10 minutes out of date. But if you're driving, it's fine. If you're driving with somebody, sorry, you're not driving, you're with somebody driving, that's okay. But if you're stationary, someone can find out the street you're on, which can be a little bit too personal. So privacy settings I recommend highly right now, so they fix it. Turn location off, so that we have some privacy as well. All right? It's a whole new field. I mean, Yes, it is kind of scary, Kimberly. The thing is, Periscope is a whole new adventure. So there's a lot of things they're working on, and I'm passionate about this platform. I love this platform a lot. But there's tweaks along the way, and there's challenges along the way too. And some things are mistakes that happen, like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. And some things are amazing ideas. So it is what it is. I mean, right now it looks like there's only you and me on this scope, so that's pretty private. Yeah, there's only you and me on this scope, so this is a private scope, although it's archived, so it will be public to anybody else who watches it later. So yeah, so Kimberly, you're the only one on here, so do you have any other questions? Because you got my full attention. If you have, and if not, I'll wrap up. And I'll let you know, since you're watching and anybody on the replay is watching this, I do these every day. Usually I'm teaching something, but today I'm not married at the moment, no. And I'm a relationship coach, so that's a whole other conversation. Watch my last scope for some of that. I just did a scope earlier, which is just recorded on Periscope.tv. I don't get into politics on my scopes, so that's not going to be something I'll talk about, just so you know. My scopes, I do a love scope every day and a peri tips every day. So this is my peri tips. I'll do this again tomorrow, and also do my love scope every day. So I do love and relationships, coaching, and speaking and teaching. Seriously? Okay, that's your choice. I'm not saying yes or no. I'm not going to get in arguments about that because politics is not where I put on my scopes. This is about Periscope. Tips and help. If you have questions about Periscope, I do this every day, and I usually have a teaching point. Today I didn't have one, so I just said I'm going to do open Q&A. And since most of my audience is in the UK, that's an option too. But most of my audience is in the UK, in England and Europe, so I tend to do my scopes earlier in the day than this, but they're in bed by now. So I usually do my scopes around about noon now, is my normal current time, so noon Pacific time. So if you're in Georgia, that's 3 p.m. I think. You're on Eastern Standard Time, I think. So if you want to watch my scopes every day, 12 to 1 is about when I do them Pacific time. So 3 to 4 England. I'm originally English, but I've been here 30 years. So the people in my Facebook groups I'm part of with Periscope are in England mostly. So I tend to do it noon to 1 o'clock, which is 8 to 9 p.m. their time, so that way we can all stay on track with each other. So again, here's an archive you can go to, catch.me. That's where all my other scopes are stored, so you can look at my previous relationship scopes and which is love scopes, and my previous peri tips, which is there. So catch.me is the place to store them, and that's my Twitter handle. So, and that's that. Again, I do self-promotion in my scopes, which is this one. I have, are you from Paris? Oh, that's right, Ian. Yes, you're in Paris. Good to see you, sir. Yeah, it was just Sundays are my quiet days anyway. Okay, so Kimberly, go to my previous scope on Periscope is up, periscope.tv/barryselby. This part with periscope.tv in front, and everything before that is on catch.me, and it's love scope. So look for those. There's tons of content out there, and I do a book out on Amazon. You can find it there. That's my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover. So you can find it out. And I do see clients. And by the way, if you go in my profile, is my link to my site. You can click on that to go to my website and check out my love and relationship stuff. I also have a bit.ly donation button. This is what it looks like there, which is my love donation button. So I take donations from my Periscope help. So bit.ly.donate to Barry is the link for that. That's my promotions for the day. So thank you, and Kimberly, thanks for your questions. I'm glad I could help, and hopefully you got some inspiration to get more comfortable using Periscope. I think it's a great tool, a great platform. So that's for you specifically. Ian, do you have any questions about Periscope, by the way? I mean, this is just meant to be an open forum for Q&A about Periscope, because it's kind of a lazy Sunday. Yes, you do. Okay. I'm glad we can get you going, get more confidence, and get going out there. I said I'm a big fan. I'm actually done some how to say it? I won't say evangelist, but I've certainly been a big proponent of Periscope for what it can bring to people and help people with. So I talk about that a lot. So that's why I'm doing Periscope tips every day, because I want to help everybody out there learn about Periscope. You're welcome, Kimberly. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. And yeah, look at my Periscopes on Catch. I've got a bunch out there about relationships and love. My site's all about that stuff too. I've got three key video series on my website, which is on YouTube, not on Periscope. And I've got a bunch of consults and things like that you can find out about me and my work. All right? That's it, I think. Are you coming in at the back end? I'm just about signing off. Unless you've got any immediate questions about Periscope, I'm about to wrap up. This is an open forum for questions and answers about Periscope, and I'm about to sign off. So anything before I go? Last call, last call. any questions. I know there's a very lag from when you enter and when I ask the questions to when you can type in and I see it. So I think we're about done. It's quiet enough, no hearts, no questions, then I guess I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching as always. If you're watching the replay, please reach out and share this with your followers if you want to. Tap on the screen for hearts when you're watching the replay. And if you want more information about Periscope, follow me on Periscope. And if you want stuff about love and relationships, same thing, follow me, and also check out my website. The links are in my profile. You can check out both buttons there. And I'll be back tomorrow with my full regular Love Scope, Periscope, and I think I'm doing a share-a-thon, at least one tomorrow. So 3 scopes tomorrow. Yeah, I'm passionate about this platform. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, wherever the time it is when you're watching this. And enjoy your Sunday. Monday? Is it Monday now for some parts of the world? Take care of yourselves. I'm going to take off now. See you soon. Bye.